Hi, I'm Pam Rader, and welcome to your week 2 of 40 Days to Personal Revolution. This week's theme is vitality, and the laws of transformation that we're working with are step out of your comfort zone and commit to growth. I'm here with Stefania and Josh, both from Shift Power Yoga, and we hope you'll join us for this 30-minute practice. We'll have you start in Child's Pose, please. So sit your knees wide apart and take your big toes together, and then let your hands reach out way ahead of you on the mat. And right away, start to create a sense of flow with your breath. We tap into vitality in various ways, but connecting with the breath is first and foremost. So we'll start breathing in and out through your nose, creating a powerful Ujjayi breath. So many things get in the way of us tapping into our vital energy. The busyness, all of our reasons, all of our fears and doubts. And this physical practice grounds us in what's real and what's possible right here, right now, and allows you to tap into that well of vitality that is available to each and every one of us. Turn your toes under and lift your hips up and back. Come into downward facing dog. And in your downward dog, your hands are shoulder width distance apart. Your feet are hip width distance apart. Just get really connected to the earth with your hands and your feet. And then draw your navel to your spine and lift your tailbone to the sky. Really just create an inverted V shape here in your downward facing dog. And find a place to set your eyes where your neck is neutral. Find a drishti spot, maybe your toes or the middle of your mat. And take a long breath in through your nose and out through your nose. And again, breathe in. And breathe out as you just get a sense of your body in this space. And once more, fill up and expand from your center out and empty. And then walk your feet to the top of your mat. And take ragdoll pose. Scoop your elbows up. Let your head go. And here your feet are also hip width distance apart. And make your feet really bright. Like spread your toes, wake them up. Move your inner ankles back. Your outer ankles down, and then hug your outer shins in. Tilt your tailbone to the sky, and then just let your spine flow like water. And let your head go, a sense of ease in your body, and flow in your breath. Release your hands to the mat, and come into Tadasana, rolling up one vertebra at a time. Sweep your arms up to the sky. And from the ground up, shine up and out. Take a deep breath in through your nose, and then go up and back a little bit. Just spread your chest wide open, wake up, and bow forward, exhale. Inhale to halfway lift, and you can choose to touch your shins and make a nice flat back, or touch the floor if that's possible for you. Plant your hands and step back to a high plank. And here in high plank, if you're just learning the practice and being on your knees seems like a great idea, maybe Stefania could demonstrate that, then you can come to your knees if you're just developing the strength, or you're on your toes, your shoulders come together, belly up, and your gaze in front of your mat. Low push-up, bend your elbows, lower yourself halfway down. Upward facing dog, breath in, draw your shoulders back, and then lift your hips up and back to downward facing dog. Take a big breath in and a big breath out. And as you breathe in, press into your hands. As you breathe out, press into your heels. And breathe in and out. Once more, fill up with energy, vitality, and breathe out anything in the way. Look forward and walk or hop to the top of your mat. and come to a halfway lift. So again, a flat back, and then fold yourself down. Root your feet into the earth, reach your fingertips to the sky and rise up. Tadasana. Exhale, fold yourself forward. Inhale to halfway lift and step yourself back to high plank. On your knees or on your toes, your choice, low push-up. Upward facing dog, lift your chest, draw your arm bones back. Downward dog, lift your hips, send your heels back. Take a big breath in and spread your fingers into the earth. And as you breathe out, send your leg bones back. And breathing in and out, just noticing the ebb and flow of your breath helps to take you out of all the stories that take us out, like why we don't want to step out of our comfort zones, the sweet poison of your comfort zone, as Baron calls it. Walk or hop your feet to the top of your mat and lift halfway up. Inhale. Fold yourself in half. Bend your knees and reach your arms to the sky in chair pose. And here you'll hug your arm bones towards each other. Pull your shins back so your knees stack over your heels. Yeah. And set your eyes up just a little ways. And then from a place like inside of you where there's this unending wellspring of energy, vitality, like enough for anything that you want to tackle in life, expand up and out from here. Reach your fingers, sink your hips, commit to growth. Bow forward from here. Lift halfway up and step back to high plank. Low push-up. Upward facing dog, and draw your shoulder blades together on your back. Downward facing dog. Look forward between your hands and step your right foot up between your hands. Spin your left foot to 45 degrees and reach to warrior one. Here in warrior one, your right knee stacks directly over your ankle and your hips are square-ish. So right hip back, left hip forward. Yeah. And then reach up and back, and maybe look up and back, and create a powerful expression. From where you are, expand, even if it's uncomfortable, especially if it's uncomfortable. Low push-up, come down. Upward facing dog. Draw your arm bones back. Yeah, downward facing dog. Squeeze your belly. Step your left foot between your hands this time and reach up to the sky for warrior one. And again, you'll root yourself in the outer edge of your right heel. Turn your right inner thigh towards the wall behind you, or in this case, the tree behind you. And reach up and back. Full expression. When you get to the place where you feel stuck or you can't, turn off the tapes, all your reasons, and just like step into what's possible. Low push-up, come down. Upward facing dog, breath in, and you breathe out to down dog. Maybe sigh it out your mouth. Take one breath in here and let it all go. Let there be a sense of flow even in the stillness of your posture. A willingness to see what is so in your body, what is so in your mind, what is so in this moment, and from this what is so, you move forward into what is next, what is new, what is possible. Bend your knees, hop to the top of your mat, and lift halfway up, fill up, bow forward. Bend your knees, come to chair pose, reach up, and fold forward, exhale. Inhale, halfway lift. Plant your hands, low push up. Keep your eyes 2 feet in front of your mat. Upward facing dog, breath in. Downward facing dog, breath out. Step your right foot forward, warrior one, rise. Then plant your hands on your exhale, go right to low push up. Upward facing dog. Downward facing dog. Step your left foot between your hands. solid foundation. Rise up, shine up, low push up, go. Slow with your breath. Upward facing dog and downward facing dog. Take a breath in and one breath out, and then make your way to the top of your mat, creating a little bit of inner fire. Halfway lift, bow forward. Come to chair pose, bend your knees, reach up, and fold forward here. Lift halfway and stretch your heart forward, pull your hips way back, low push up. Firm up your legs, upward facing dog, downward dog, lift your hips. Step your right foot forward between your hands and reach to warrior one. And this time, open up to warrior two and pause here. In warrior two, drishti, where you set your eyes along the middle, right fingernail. And you commit to growth here by not being so static, by being willing to play your edge. Maybe drive your right knee forward, your rib cage back. You can bring your shoulder blades together and then expand out through your chest, through your fingertips. Beautiful. Reverse your warrior. Your left hand comes down to your left thigh, right arm to the sky. And from here, expand through your whole right rib cage to create more space from your right hip to your right rib cage out through the tips of your fingers. And you're restoring your vitality right here. You're renewed and restored right where you stand when you commit to your growth. You step out of your comfort zone into growth, into possibility. Come back to warrior two. Straighten your right leg. As you straighten it, just don't lock it. Keep a millimeter bend. Reach your rib cage forward. And then tilt your right hand down for triangle. And Stefania is pretty flexible, so she's got her fingertips on the floor. You can take them up to your shin if that feels better in your body, if it gives you more openness. And set your gaze up to your top fingers. And from here, follow your left fingertips back with your eyes and create opening and expansion. For 3, breathe in, 2, and 1, come back to warrior 2. Inhale, reverse your warrior, and cartwheel your hands down to the floor for high plank. Low push up with firm belly, upward facing dog, and downward facing dog. Step your left foot forward right away, no hesitation, warrior one, reach up. Open your body to warrior two. And you're in heel to heel or heel to arch alignment, and that's just it'll vary with your level of flexibility. You can sort out what works in your body. Don't get stuck on one way. It's really like a discovery, a process of discovery in your body, always, every time you step on your mat. Take reverse warrior, right hand down, left arm up, and then drive your left knee forward. Reach your left arm higher. Sink your hips lower. Come out of what you know, out of your comfort zone, and into something new. Into something that stretches your view of you. Come back to warrior two. Straighten your left leg and take triangle pose on this side. In triangle pose, lead with your left pelvis, so your left bum tucking under your right hip will cause your chest to open. And then you can lean back. Lean back into something new. It's like pulling your heart forward, your hips forward, and everything else goes back. Take one more breath. Come all the way up to warrior two. Inhale to reverse your warrior. And exhale, cartwheel your hands down to the earth. Step back to high plank, low push-up, upward facing dog, and downward facing dog. From downward dog, shift your weight forward to high plank. And pause here. Get really firm. Press the floor away, lift your core, And then take your right hand to the center of your mat, and you'll bring your feet together at the back of your mat and roll to your right side for side plank. And you could choose the option of having a knee down on the floor. Maybe Stefania could demonstrate that. A knee down, yeah. Send your tailbone in. Perhaps you find a full expression lifting your left leg up, straight. Yeah, tuck your tailbone in, Josh. Yes. Find your fullest expansion, your fullest expression. And then come into high plank. Low push-up. Come to upward facing dog and downward facing dog. Lift and lengthen your right leg straight up behind you. Strong, powerful legs, strong intention. Step your right foot forward between your hands. And with all 10 toes pointing forward, reach your arms to the sky for crescent lunge. In crescent lunge, we have a powerful foundation. Hug your right heel and your left toes towards one another. Let your tailbone descend and bring the front of your pelvis up. And then create a full expression here. Open your heart, open your eyes, open up to what's possible for you right here in this moment. We spend so much time in our excuses and playing the tapes of why we can't do something. And I read something the other day that said you can either be committed to your bullshit or your growth, not both. And so here we're committing to growth. So grow a little bit more. And then plant your hands on the earth, step back, high plank, low push-up, upward facing dog, and downward facing dog. Let all your air out. Take a breath in, pause here, and a breath out. And then shift your weight forward once again for high plank. Take your left hand to the center of your mat and your feet together. Roll to side plank on your left. You'll expand your right arm to the sky. Maybe expand your right leg to the sky. Just find your fullest expression. Toes awake, fingers awake. Send your tailbone in, thoracic spine in, and go to high plank. Low push-up, upward facing dog, breath in, and downward facing dog, breathe out. Lift and lengthen your left leg behind you and step powerfully forward for crescent lunge. Reach your fingers to the sky. Find a scissoring action with your legs. So you're hugging your legs in towards one another. And then your upper arm bones, okay, your shoulders, they could come up to your ears and then onto your back. Set your eyes up. Shift your vision a little bit. And create something brand new right where you stand. And go up and back, one more breath, full expression. Plant your hands on the earth and go to high plank. Low push-up, upward facing dog, and downward facing dog. Take a breath in here and a breath out. And walk your feet or hop them to the top of your mat. Lift halfway up, flat back, and then fold yourself forward. Come into chair pose. Bend your knees, reach your arms, and bring your hands together in prayer. And twist to your right, so you'll take your left elbow to your outer right thigh. And you want to be mindful of your left knee and right knee staying side by side, left hip and right hip side by side, yeah. And then press your top hand down into your bottom hand to cause your shoulder blades to squeeze together. Yeah. And as you exhale, drop your hips. As you inhale, reach your heart up. Take one more breath and then open your arms. Expand them. Left hand down, right arm up. And follow your right hand back with your eyes. Notice how your drishti, just setting your vision somewhere new, will take you somewhere new. And bow forward here. Take ragdoll pose. Just scoop up your elbows, feet hip width distance apart. And let everything hang. Let everything go. If it feels good to sway a little bit side to side, do that. Release your hands to the earth. And once again, take chair pose. So bend your knees deeply, reach up like you love it, and bring your hands to heart center. Twist your right elbow to your outer left thigh. Sometimes when we get here, you have to like reconfigure a little bit. You notice your right knee is sneaky, it comes up, just pull it back. Swing your hips to the left a little. We never arrive in the pose. It's like always somewhere to go, somewhere to play, the edge. Open up your arms, big, bold expression. Spread your fingers and send energy out every cell of your body because you have more than enough for everything you want to do. And bow forward. Take ragdoll pose here. Just take a moment to reconnect with your breath if you've lost it. To set a solid drishti. Release your hands to the earth. Sweep your arms up to the sky. Exhale, fold yourself in half. Bow forward. Lift up halfway and really create more space in your spine. Plant your hands and go to high plank. Come to low push-up. Upward facing dog. Lift your sternum. Downward facing dog. Pull your hips up and back. Now just rock your weight forward a little, bend your knees, and you're going to come onto your knees for camel pose. Stand up on your knees, and have maybe Josh can show the variation with toes turned under. This is like a modification, and Stefania can show with the toes down. Hips stay over your knees, and then reach your hands back to your feet. Your heels, and you go. Just reach back. And send your hips forward. Send your heart to the sky. And if your neck is okay with it, look back. If you need to keep your chin tucked, that's okay too. Let this be healthy for your body, restorative. 3, open. 2, press your hips forward and really commit to growth and lift your sternum to the sky. Lift your heart. And 1, gently tuck your chin to your chest, come out into downward facing dog. Just take a breath in here and a breath out. And then come to your knees for your second set of camel. And as it's your second set, take it somewhere new. Go somewhere different. Maybe try something new. You tried your heels last time. With your toes turned under, maybe try to flatten your feet. See what's possible here. Or maybe support your low back the whole time. Find an expression that creates a new possibility in your body, your being, this moment. Send your hips forward. Draw your shoulder blades together on your back. Then tuck your chin to your chest and come all the way back to downward facing dog. Take a full breath in and a full breath out. Hop your feet to your hands. Lift halfway up, inhale. And bow. Rise up, Tadasana. And exhale, forward fold. Lift halfway. And go back to low push-up. Upward facing dog, breath in, and downward facing dog, breath out. And this time you're gonna hop your feet through to your hands and lie down on your back for bridge pose. So here your feet will be hip width distance apart and like parallel. They could be slightly splayed out. If you got back stuff sometimes or knee stuff, if that feels good for you, you can do that. Press your hips to the sky as you press your feet to the floor. And then bring your arm bones underneath your shoulder blades, walk them towards each other, and interlace your hands under your tailbone. And you're here for 5 breaths, and not just waiting it out. Like, what can you create? What can you tap into to create something new here? Something expressive from your inner well of unending vitality. gently roll your spine down to the floor. Pause. We'll take one breath in and one breath out. And this time we'll take wheel pose. So take your hands and place them beside your ears with your fingertips pointing towards your shoulders. And then lift your hips up and just come to the crown of your head. And here it's really important that your elbows are in line with your shoulders, and then press up from here. Keep your shoulders aligned, press up into wheel pose. And this is like full body expression. Like you gotta tap into something here. Turn up your breath. Press the floor to lift up. 3, 2, and 1. Lower yourself back down to your mat. And just pause here with your knees bent, your feet flat on the earth. You don't want to hug your knees into your chest right away. You will shock your sacrum, so just give yourself a moment here to neutralize your spine. All right, go ahead and bring your knees into your chest and hug behind your knees. And you're going to rock yourself up to easy boat pose, so you'll keep hanging on behind your knees. You're going to come up and balance on your sits bones and your sacrum, your tailbone. Send your spine in to your body. Up, beautiful. Spread your toes. See how Stefania's toes are like so wide, so beautiful. Josh has got 3 toes really wide and beautiful, and a couple like stuck together because he was hiking today in his boots. And then stretch your fingers up to the sky and find full boat. Beautiful. And if you need to still hang on, then be where you need to be. But if you got this, then you go there. Now cross your right ankle over your left. Bring your hands to the earth. Tuck your ankles in towards yourself and lift your bum off the floor. And then come back to Navasana. Come back to boat pose. Okay. Cross your left ankle over your right. Bring your hands to the floor beside you and lift up. And sit down and come back to boat. Cross your right ankle over your left and lift up. Touch down. Boat pose, stretch your legs, stretch your arms. Cross one ankle over the other. Touch your hands down, lift your bum. And touch down. Stretch up. Stretch up your biggest boat. Tap into something here, an energy of possibility, the energy of I can, commitment to growth, to expansion, and then cross your right ankle over your left. Last time, lift up your bum, and then drop your bum to the floor, plant your hands, and go back to downward facing dog. Go ahead and make your way onto your knees, and your hands on your knees, and then you'll have a seat in seated straddle. So allow your legs to come out really wide in front of you. Yeah. With your spine really tall, and your toes point to the ceiling. And here, lift your spine as you press your leg bones into the earth. So all parts of you are awake, alive, and strong. And take a few breaths here. And then you can begin to walk your hands forward into bowing seated straddle. Keep your spine like empowered, livened, elongated. Press your leg bones into the earth. And pull your toes back towards your shins. And then you continue to seek what's possible in each and every breath. Take your fullest expression here. Deepen to what's possible. And then walk your hands up. Bring your legs back together in the center. You might have to help them even. And lie down on your back for happy baby pose. here you'll catch the outside edges of your feet. And if that's not possible for you, maybe Josh could show grabbing behind your calves or behind your knees. If you feel like tight or constricted, congested in your groin area, then like do what you need to find a variation of the posture. Just find a way to be here. Draw your shoulders to the earth, tailbone to the earth. And then hug both of your knees into your chest and extend your left leg flat out to the mat. And we'll take a spinal twist. Draw your right knee over your left hip. Open your right arm and look to your right. Squeeze your belly. Root your right shoulder to the floor. And then come back to center. Hug both knees into your chest. It feels good. Extend your left leg to the mat. Right leg to the mat. Yes, and then take a spinal twist here. Stefania was giving me the look. It's the wrong leg down. Yeah. And find a beautiful spinal twist here just to finish this amazing practice of tapping into your vitality, stepping out of your comfort zone and committing to growth. Back to your mat and take your final Shavasana, corpse pose. Just let everything relax. There's absolutely nothing to do here. There's nothing wrong. There's nothing to figure out. You've really done the work. Now allow yourself to receive the fruits of your labor. You can choose to lay here as long as you want. Take a nice long Shavasana if it suits you. You can start to wiggle your fingers and your toes. And take a big stretch up over your head. And then gently roll to your right side into the fetal position. From this position of new beginnings, of new possibilities, bring yourself up to seated at the top of your mat. Hands in front of your heart, eyes closed. And take a deep breath in, and sigh it out. Bring your thumbs to your forehead center, and together we say, Namaste.